You must know that NATO has been providing weapons and equipment to Ukraine on the Russian-Ukrainian battlefield. For this reason, facing the Red Arrow-12, a missile that can make NATO tanks have nowhere to escape, if Russia obtains relevant products, it will be able to play on the battlefield. The role has dealt a big blow to Ukraine. The Chinese version of the Javelin may become a threat to NATO. Over the years, China's military business has been very good. Among them, Saudi Arabia has always been a major customer of China. China used to import products from Russia, but now, it seems that the roles have begun to reverse. Tank missile products have now attracted the attention of more countries. Russia urgently needs China's Red Arrow-12 anti-tank missiles. Only the Red Arrow-12 can repel the Ukrainian armored forces. The reason is that the current NATO countries have promised to provide hundreds of Challenger 2 Leopard and Abrams main battle tanks to the Ukrainian Icon, and the Russian army really has the strength to compete with these tanks, competing only T-90M and T-14 main battle tanks. However, due to the small number of equipment for these two tanks, the Russian army is likely to use the old T-72AS tanks and T-62MS tanks in a decisive battle with the advanced main battle tanks of the Ukrainian army in the future. At that time, the Russian armored forces will face the risk of disastrous defeat. Therefore, Russia is in urgent need of China's high-end HJ-12 anti-tank missiles. The Red Arrow-12 belongs to the third-generation anti-tank missile. It was unveiled at the 10th Zhuhai Air Show. It claims to be able to destroy all active tanks on the Earth. It shows how confident China is in this weapon. The Red Arrow-12 has the capabilities of lock before launch and no matter after launch, and is also known as the Chinese version of the Javelin. However, according to public data, the Red Arrow-12 anti-tank missile is obviously better than. No wonder the Javelin and Spike missiles are favored by many countries thinking of dealing with NATO tanks. The combat positioning of the Red Arrow-12 is to cooperate with long-range anti-aircraft missiles. It can be propelled by solid fuel. The maximum flight speed can reach Mach 4. It can strike targets at an altitude of 0.5 to 2.5 kilometers, and the range is 7 to 42 kilometers. It sounds like the gap is a bit big, but it is true. As a large anti-tank missile, the armor-piercing performance is a very important point. The armor-piercing depth of the Javelin missile is 800 mm, which is already very good. However, the armor-piercing depth of China's Red Arrow-12 reaches in this regard, it has far surpassed the Javelin. Red Arrow-12 is the world's first-class individual missile, which is mainly due to our technological innovation when developing Red Arrow-12, that is launch and forget. This means that the Red Arrow-12 uses an infrared self-guiding head with a target image memory function. So that after the launch, there is no need to intervene, but to attack the target with memory, and it is done by attacking the top. Attacking the target is undoubtedly a fatal blow to the tank. Once hit, it is tantamount to the destruction of the tank. In addition to being able to attack tanks, the Red Arrow-12 can also attack other targets, such as low-flying helicopters, small ships, bunkers and other major targets. It can be said that it is very useful on the battlefield. No wonder it is favored by many countries. In addition to Saudi Arabia's interest in the Red Arrow-12, Russia is obviously in great need of it at present. The Russian media called the military to buy China's Red Arrow-12, so that it can play a better role on the Russian-Ukrainian battlefield, directly against NATO tanks. Russia urgently needs China's Red Arrow-12 anti-tank missiles. Only the Red Arrow-12 can repel the Ukrainian armored forces. The American Military Observer magazine published an article stating that although China has made it clear that it will not provide military assistance to Russia, from a military perspective, the Russian army is in urgent need of the People's Liberation Army's Red Arrow-12 anti-tank missiles. A recently published assessment has revealed that the combat-hardened M1 Abrams tanks of the US Army would not be able to dominate the battlefields into the 2040s, especially in the context of a potential confrontation with China. The M1 Abrams is a third-generation American main battle tank designed for contemporary armored ground warfare and is currently one of the heaviest tanks in service. The assessment conducted by the Army Science Board, a federally sanctioned independent group of experts that advises the Secretary of the U.S. Army, said M1 Abrams tanks would not be effective or able to dominate in a high-end conflict, hinting at a potential war with arch-rival China. Near transparency in all domains will significantly increase the lethality U.S. forces will experience. China and Russia have studied U.S. forces and doctrine and are fielding countermeasures. Russian expert Konstantin Olshansky's views triggered widespread discussion. He pointed out that China's arms industry is gradually expanding its market share, posing competitive pressure on the United States and NATO member states. In-depth analysis of this phenomenon shows that China is rapidly emerging and may dominate the global anti-tank missile market, which has a profound impact on the international military landscape. China's Red Arrow-12 missiles have reached the world's leading level, which is considered to be one of the most advanced anti-tank missiles in the world. This missile not only has a powerful range, but also adopts advanced wire guidance. The application of fiber optic technology enables it to achieve beyond visual range strike, which is of great significance in modern warfare. In comparison, the United States Javelin missiles and Israel's Spike missiles are not as good as China's Red Arrow series in performance and cannot compete with them. You must know that NATO has been providing weapons and equipment to Ukraine on the Russian-Ukrainian battlefield. For this reason, facing the Red Arrow-12, a missile that can make NATO tanks have nowhere to escape, if Russia obtains relevant products, it will be able to play on the battlefield. The role has dealt a big blow to Ukraine.